In this video, I'm going to be breaking down how we cash collected over $60,000 in 5 weeks if only 500 subscribers. And we did this on 10K long form views and only, once again, 500 subscribers. Here is a YouTube proof, so you know I'm not lying. He posts YouTube short, so the views are like ramped up, but you can see the subscriber count. If I go to content, go to videos, nearly 10K views. This is the channel right here. We started this our first video that has 1K views, 2.5. Long story short, I want to break down the entire process so you can go ahead and copy it, because I know what you're probably thinking. Oh, this guy had some type of huge audience on YouTube or IG or Twitter. No, this is damn near a brand new info product. He doesn't have a big audience on any other platform. So I want to show you guys how we launched it from scratch. And this is the same process that I'm using to scale people like the Growth Partner, Brett Scales, Defino, Samir, all the people. This is Sebastian right here. PB trading, flips from miles. I'm just going to keep scrolling so you can see my process is not some BS. We have got results for some of the biggest names in this space, and we do really do this. So I'm just going to be breaking down how you can actually implement the same for your info business. Let's get straight into it. So I'm not going to be cutting up this video. I'm just going to be breaking down every part of it step by step. First things first is the launch strategy and the ideation. I want to cover how we kind of launch his channel basically from scratch. Like I said, I think we started around 200 subscribers. Now we're near up to around like 700 something. So what you want to do is everything around our process stems from what I like to call the ICP. So this is your ideal customer profile. And we were able to identify this for our client because you want to recognize who you're actually selling to. So when you create the content, you can position that content right in front of who you want to sell to. So identifying our ideal customer profile. For Sebastian's channel, we are selling a TikTok shop affiliate offer. So really digging deep into what these people struggle with, who they are, and how we can hit their pains and desires, which is what you actually want to do. You want to figure out the ICP, and then you want to branch out. You want to figure out their pains. You want to figure out their desires. You want to figure out their fears. You want to figure out their motivators. And you can only use AI to tap into this and go ahead, and then from there you reverse engineer them into video ideas. So you can really also use AI for this process as well. Find the ICP, find the pains, desires, fears, and motivators, and then reverse engineer them into ideas. If you don't do this, you will basically be creating content that actually can't collect cash. A lot of people think you need a huge audience or a huge following to collect cash. This guy's audience is extremely small, but because we were able to tap into the ICP and reverse engineer them into ideas, that's how we're actually able to go ahead and get videos that obviously can get views. Like we have 1K here, 2.5K here, we have 1.3K here. Like we have videos that are getting views, but most importantly, we also have videos that aren't getting that many views, but are still collecting us cash. Like this video we just posted, 187 views. Or this video right here, 400 views, but we're still able to actually use a proper funnel, use a proper ecosystem, and turn the views into cash, which I'm going to be breaking down later in this video, so stay tuned for that. But after we have the ICP situated, we have the ideas. Next is tapping into your competitive edge. Everybody has a competitive edge to where they are either better than the entire market at one thing, or you're more unique at this one thing, and you want to figure out what that is for you. And the main thing is you want to allow it to bleed throughout your content. And what do I mean by this? So if you look at the top personal brands out there, Iman, Hermosi, Gary V, all they really do is repeat like the same 3 to 5 sayings over and over again, or the same story or the same accomplishment that they've had. And that's how they're able to allow the competitive edge to bleed through their titles, their thumbnails, their scripts, is because they're just talking about how they're better or more unique. And basically the audience is able to buy into that story or that competitive edge, and that creates the uniqueness around your brand. Because if you think about it, especially in an offer like TikTok shop, there's so many people that are creating TikTok shop videos. You want to find the way that you can competitively stand out with your edge, and then have that bleed through the ideas, have that bleed through your ICP that you're already targeting. And that is basically how we were able to create the ideas and then allow everything to come into cohesiveness with it, because you have the ideas, but with the ideas you can tap into the competitive edge. Like for example, if I go to his channel, he had a 165K profit month. So how do we tap that into the ICP? We know the ICP desires making money, right? Boom. How do we make that into an idea? For the idea, we go ahead and we find a outlier format, which I'm going to talk about later in this video, and his competitive edge is at 165K. So then the title is, I profited $165,000 in 1 month with TikTok Shop Affiliate. How? I'm going to talk about titles, thumbnails, all that YouTube stuff later. But you guys are getting a piece of how we actually tap into the competitive edge. We talk about his story from going from poor to 2 million. There's a whole bunch of other stuff. 2 million TikTok shop. You guys are going to see we reference these big numbers over and over again. That's part of his edge. A lot of people are not making those type of numbers. So find your edge and tap into it is basically what I'm saying there. Now, I also do want to cover the launch strategy. Basically, we built up, I guess, a quote-unquote audience on his stuff before he launched. He does have a small Twitter following and a small IG following, but we had people before we launched our first video actually subscribe to his channel. So when we went to go and post that first video, we didn't have to push a lot of external traffic to it. We could just upload it and have it grow organically. So that was really part of our launch strategy that I want to explain, but I covered mainly the ideation in this section. Let's go into step 2, which is the execution. How do we actually execute these videos to go ahead and collect cash? So first things first, on camera presence. I feel like this is not spoken on enough. And if you go and watch our videos, the reason why these are well executed is because our client's actually good on camera. And that's something that does take time. I would say my advice for this, because without good on camera presence, you can have the best ideas, the best thumbnails, but if people think you're boring, nobody likes to watch boring, or if people just can't sit down and watch your stuff, none of it matters. So you wanna have energy, bro, because nobody likes boring. First of all, you want to have change of tone, like knowing when to go higher, lower, etc., etc. Movements in terms of like your hands and just making engagement things that people can I guess correlate with what you're saying. And another thing for on-camera presence, I would say, is we covered energy, tone, movement. I think that's basically it. But those are like, if you can apply those to your on-camera presence, you will be able to execute better videos. And if you can execute better videos on like the on-camera side, then when you actually go to adding the script in and all that type of stuff, it's going to be easy. I think the last thing I wanted to mention was actually like talking like you're with your boys is like what I wanted to say. Talking like you're with your boys, because when we implement a script for this client, he's still able to execute on camera like he's just talking to his friends. So that's something that we like to tap into. Ecosystem. For the ecosystem, I like to think of the content ecosystem as how we post our content. So obviously you can see all these videos here, but we don't need every video to get hella views, or we don't need every video to pop off. We have a ecosystem that we follow that is able to go ahead and get us the results that we're seeing. 10K long form views that can go ahead and cash collect the 60K, right? So the ecosystem looks like this. You're gonna have top of funnel content, middle of funnel content, bottom of funnel content. Without this ecosystem, I feel like that's the differentiator between actually being able to collect 60K in 5 weeks versus not being able to. Because a lot of people would just try to push the same amount of, like the same type of content, and the same ideas and same angles, but no, like we're able to hit every part of the audience that we want to attract and bring them down this funnel, where necessarily we're able to grow the channel, but also nurture the people that already like are coming through or might know Sebastian, and then also converting these people. So I want to touch on that, how the funnel looks and how we work it. So ecosystem, like I said, we have top of funnel content. The top of funnel content is typically, there to actually grow the audience. Middle of funnel content is there to nurture, and then bottom of funnel is there to convert. So I can just break down examples of these. So like the My Story, this is a top of funnel video. How I made $2 million TikTok Shop 23. Top of funnel video. And then the middle funnel stuff is simply like how-to videos. So how-to, where's another how-to right here, how-to right here, how-to right here. And then bottom of funnel stuff is like our client case study interviews. So we have 2 of them up right now. We're like super niche deep insights that are like more raw videos. So how to find winning TikTok Shop affiliate products with Cali data. This could be a bottom of funnel, or let me see what else we have. This is more like top of funnel, middle of funnel right here. Why most affiliates never 10K per month, but you guys kind of get the gist of it and what we're doing. So hopefully those live examples help you out. But yeah, with the top of funnel content, you're basically just looking to go broad and have a bigger TAM, total addressable market, and reach more people. Necessarily, this doesn't mean that you're gonna get more views, but that is the goal with the video. Which is why a video like this can go get 2.5K. Like, we're flexing a big result and we're talking about something that's new, TikTok Shop affiliate. So that's the whole goal with it, but it's not necessarily means you're gonna get more views. It means you're gonna bring in a newer audience that can learn more about you, and then that can go find a middle funnel video or a bottom funnel video, and then tap into your offer. So that's how I kind of think about that. Middle funnel, like I said, these are like how to explainer type videos. If you can, explain the process behind what you actually do. Like for example, there's so many things that go into TikTok Shop Affiliate. This is his offer, right? How to find winning products, how to make videos that go viral, how to use Calo data, you know what I'm saying? How to get the followers, how to leverage AI. There's so many things that you can tap into, and we're just breaking down those small pieces of the puzzle, and we're giving them each small piece of the puzzle, and then what they want to do is they're going to get nurtured by this piece of content and eventually want to learn the entire thing. And how do they learn the entire thing? They buy your high ticket offer. So that's how I think about that there. Consistency is what I'm going to tap into next, but the last thing is bottom funnel content. Bottom funnel content I like to think about as NDI, niche deep insights. This could also be client case studies. I'll put CC. And then we're even for him about to drop a free course, which is going to be like super in depth, super long video, and just like going in detail on everything that we're about to cover. And that free course is actually going to be able to go obviously hit a broader audience, but also really show that Sebastian knows what he's talking about and convert these people that are already watching all these other videos right here. So that's the sauce with the free course stuff. But yeah, that's how I kind of think about it. Consistency wise, we've been hella consistent on this channel. Sebastian's one of our clients that's actually has moved to 2 posts per week, which is like pretty fire, honestly. We've been able to rip basically 4 like higher quality thought out videos and then 4 raw videos. I think for you watching this video right now, all you really need is 1 video per week and then like 2 raw videos per month, or 1 to 2 client case study interviews or raw videos, and then 4 main videos that are just going to be like higher quality thought out. So that's how I think about it. But we're doing 2 per week, and our consistency does help a lot. I feel like YouTube's a game where it's more about quality, but you can also ramp quantity on YouTube and have that play into your benefit. So that's what we've been doing there, and that's definitely paying off a ton. So now it's time to get into step 3. How do you actually leverage this content so you can go and collect cash? So first things first, we have tons of screenshots from our client just showing like how much nurture we get from YouTube. But I want to talk about using YouTube in the pre-call sequence. So essentially, a video that our client likes to send a lot prior to getting onto a call with his clients or his sales team getting on a call is this I profited 165K video. Because one, it's a huge result that very few people have, that once again is a competitive edge. And it breaks down his thought process, how he thinks about it. And prior to getting onto the call, they know that he's legit. So this is a way to kind of build trust. Obviously, like you're going to build trust using it. You're also going to be able to handle objections. Like it's such an easy way to handle objections and figure out, okay, like if they're struggling with this thing, blah blah blah. But if they go ahead and watch your YouTube video and they see like, oh, he kind of broke down how he fixed his struggle with that and how he was able to make 165K. That's like what the audience wants to see. And handling objections is another way you can even like reverse engineer ideas out of, and that's how you can get more ideas. And this is just another way to think about ideations, like audience feedback. How can you tap into what your audience is giving you on the sales call, in the DMs, on comments on your posts, and angle those things into video ideas? That's a whole nother thing that you can leverage your audience to do. But yeah, pre-call stuff is just like basically free cash. It's like you can use the content on there, put it there, it collects you cash. And it's similar with the nurture aspect. Like prior to people booking calls, they're watching all of his YouTube content, and that helps significantly. But I feel like the thing with YouTube is the nurture in terms of watch time, because if you compare a 30-second IG reel to a 15-minute YouTube video, like people are gonna get to know you way more in this 15-minute video compared to some random IG reel that they see one time and then book a call. You know what I'm saying? So that's why YouTube actually wins. And then also with YouTube, a video can grow forever. The line can be flatlined, then it can go up a little bit, it can flatline again, then it can shoot up a bit, like, you know what I'm saying? It can just keep going, which is why YouTube is my preferred best platform for actually turning your content into cash. And knowing how to properly leverage it is super, super important for me. Also, I actually forgot to change the text here, but this was supposed to be, when I mean by nurture here, is kind of like through other social medias. So, for example, we can look at his IG where you can leverage his YouTube content. We can look at email newsletter actually, email newsletter. We can look at Twitter. We can look at LinkedIn if he wants to get on there. Like, there's so many ways that you can leverage this YouTube content. And you can tap into social media. You can tap into email newsletters. I think it's super effective. IG, you can use it on IG stories, IG DMs. Obviously, we talked about pre-call. We talked about the nurture. So that's how I think about leveraging the content. But I feel like I've covered majority of what made us really successful on this channel. And once again, right now we still have less than 1,000 subscribers, but collecting 60K cash collected in 5 weeks is what's possible with the YouTube process. So if you want to do the same and work with Content Cash Media, once again the proof is in the pudding. Just click the first link down below to book a call with me. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.